Hello, I'm FTX, and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across the rest of the comment section of the last week's Q&A Saturday video. That's right, it's like a recurring thing. Every Q&A Saturday has the comments which I go through and I pick the questions for next week. And in some cases I also ask Twitter, which is what I've done in this case, and today we're going to be going through a lot of questions which happen to all be related to Minecraft for once. Every now and then there's someone in the comments who is like, oh, so we can't make a Minecraft only Q&A, and this time, just by pure coincidence, it looks like we have exactly that. Everything is related to Minecraft on my channel, and therefore it should be a fun time for you if you hate questions that aren't related to this thing that you're currently watching. So hopefully you do enjoy this video, like if you like it. But let's get straight into the very first question, which comes in from the Gas King 332. It's very important stuff because he asks, what feature would you like to see in the cave update? Make 1.14 the cave update, just have to throw the hashtag out there. If we all keep believing it, if we all keep saying it, then maybe it will just magic itself into existence. But more seriously, if there is going to be a cave update, what features would you like to see? You need to see at least a few new things you can only find underground. Like right now, diamonds, you can find them above ground, but then best found below the ground. You should do that with anything else that's coming in a cave update. For instance, glowing crystals. For instance, a new type of ore. For instance, caves where you can find more of the existing ores, diamonds, etc. I feel like you need to have at least 3 brand new things in a cave update though. It's, new ores and new blocks is number 1. Number 2 is a new type of cave to find. So, something that's worth exploring below the ground for. In the same way exploring above the ground is worthwhile, in the same way that exploring the Nether is sometimes worthwhile, and the End Islands, you need to have some real reasons to explore below ground, and a new type of cave, a new type of system, like how we got ravines and it made underground a bit more exciting. We need a lot of that, a big combination of things like that, all in one update, and I feel like if you have all, those two things together, and then you throw in with a third, either a new rare mob, or you just find a new form of, like, underground structure, so, we have the abandoned mineshaft, the stronghold, throw in more stuff like that. You should be able to find, like, an abandoned dwarf hut, maybe connected to abandoned mineshafts. You should be able to find more and more structures below the ground. Even if they're super rare, it's good that they exist because they give you reasons to find them. Think about the fossil system. You rarely find fossils, but when you do, it's a nice little thing. We need to have lots of things like that all in one update, all which have their own real purpose. Because fossils, they don't really have a purpose, so you never look for them. You need to have something like a fossil that's rare, but you'll actually be willing to look for it. That's my opinion at least, and that is what I'm going to say here, Mr. Gas King 332. But let's move into the next question, which comes in from Gold Owl, who is actually the newest sponsor on the channel as of recording this, so that's pretty cool. Big thank you to Gold Owl for deciding to do that. Again, it's really helpful on the channel these days. But with that said, let's move into his question, which is, do you think the 2 updates a year plan for Java is going to hurt the game in the long run? As Bedrock will also likely follow this plan, or assumingly follow this plan. So I wanted to answer this one because if Bedrock only got 2 updates a year, I think that would be pretty suicidal. Minecraft Bedrock is the version of the game that's trying to stay hot and up to date with the current trends and whatever else, and to try and just have only 2 updates a year, that would be pretty suicidal. However, it's worth mentioning we've had 2 updates for Bedrock already this year. There's a third one which is pretty deep in the process, which means there's going to be a minimum of 4 updates this year for Bedrock, and probably way more. So, yeah, even though Java is getting 2 updates a year, you've got to bear in mind, Bedrock seems to be consistently splitting those updates into more updates, and also Bedrock is adding new features, either that existed on Java or that didn't exist anywhere else, in between those updates. So, for instance, 1.6, it is going to be finishing a few aquatic features, but it's also adding barrier blocks the first time. It's also going to be changing some actual game code stuff. It's going to be a pretty big deal of an update in my opinion, and yeah, that's an example of like 1.6 isn't going to be based on Java, 1.7 probably won't be either, and I think what they'll just do is Bedrock will get all of Java features, and Java will just be doing its own thing to always be working on the best new features. That's my understanding, and that seems to line up with what we've seen, but we'll have to wait and see. It would hurt Bedrock if they split, if they only had 2 updates a year, but I think they're going to have more stuff and more content coming in the downtime between Java updates, because obviously Java is an older game. Everyone gets excited when anything comes out of Java, whereas Bedrock has the expectation of updates, which is kind of paid for by the store and by the server content and stuff. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from A Can of Meat. I had to read that a few times because I'm still not sure that's his real name, but he says, hey Toycat, will they ever add more stairs and slabs? Because it really bothers me that Nether brick slabs, stairs and fences exist, but yet red Nether brick does not have the same stairs, slabs, etc. So to answer this question straight on, besides the fact there was a little bit confusing in there because there was a tiny mistake, whatever. So let's assume non-native English speaker, and let's talk about exactly what the deal is with no reds, never, stairs, slabs, etc. So I would say you can confirm with a 99% certainty that in the next year or so, whenever it happens to come, there will be red never stairs and red never slabs and red never fences, most likely too. And the reason for that, the reason that we didn't have these previously, despite the fact that they're literally the same block, just red never bricks, a bit more red, is just entirely because of the fact that obviously there was a limit on the number of blocks that could exist in Minecraft Java Edition. It was called the ID limit, the block ID limit, and they were pretty close to the max, so they couldn't just add new blocks to the game, or they'd limit their capacity in the future. However, in 1.13, Didabone finally removed the cap, and he has confirmed there is going to be more stairs and slabs in future updates. It's something we found out from the big My Invention panel I uploaded on this channel. I think I'm the only place that has that with subtitles. Maybe we should still go back through that sometime, but if you want to see it for yourself, the whole thing, I'll try and link it in the description. But if not, it's like Didabone, My Invention panel. So to move on very briefly, there will be a lot more stairs and slabs in a future update, probably 1.14. I mean, if it's the cave update, which it totally is, right? It would make sense to have more stairs and slabs so you could make caves with them, maybe. But yeah, there will be more of these things. There will be more types of blocks, and I'm looking forward to seeing when they all hit the game, because they will all hit the game together. There's going to be a big update for blocks. We might see more than 100 blocks in an update. We got like 68 in the aquatic update, and that was already pretty good. It looks like that record might be beaten because of the block ID being limiter being removed. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Nathan_636637, who says, do you think it's unfair putting DLC that 4J made on the store under Made by Minecraft when it's Made by Minecraft and not 4J? So yeah, this is something you'll see on the Minecraft Bedrock store, that it says Made by Minecraft for the Chinese mythology mashup pack with a different logo. And at first you might think, well, they're going to be stealing, they're stealing 4J's own main content. But I think the truth is that 4J just isn't a recognizable brand name on Minecraft Bedrock, especially. Like you might know if you play Minecraft Console Edition, because it shows up before the game every time. However, on Minecraft Bedrock, not everyone knows 4J, and it makes more sense just to simplify and say Made by Minecraft, because then obviously 4J benefits from more sales, and Minecraft benefits from more, it benefits both of them, I believe. I don't think anyone's really upset about it, because they could probably change it if they wanted to. But with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Lord Pineapple, who says, what do you not like about Bedrock and want the devs to address? Personally, I think it's Minecoins. I would have bought Realms for real world currency, but because it's some amount of Minecoins, I'm not interested anymore. I want to pay for what I want while knowing the price of what I buy. So first of all, let me say that I agree. So he's asking like what I don't like about Minecraft, and if there was a developer watching, what I would say to them. But first of all, let me just say about Minecoins. Like, yeah, Minecoins are literally one of the worst conceived, even just names for an idea, really, when you think about it. Like, honestly, Minecoins could have been a concept that they sold over well, but calling them Minecoins, first of all, like, and like trying to get the imagery of like it's a free-to-play game by using all those images where like you get more of you, so it looks terrible on the surface. And then the fact that you can't, like, they didn't sell the bundles in the same prices as the map packs. And I know the official explanation they give is that, oh well, Apple sets the tiers for that sort of stuff, or like, Android sets the tiers. But it's like, no, you should have set the maps to be similar prices to the tier options you had available. If you couldn't sell something for £1.7, if there's no £1.79 tier, sell the maps for £1.69, and either take the 10-cent cut out of your own cut, or just all agree to, because there's like the platform holder, there's Microsoft, and there's the content holder, all agree to make 3 cents less, because otherwise you have the system where people know that you're trying to make them overbuy, and no one feels good about overbuying. It's a system that Xbox themselves personally removed. So yeah, Minecoins, I agree. I've heard rumors. Again, there's nothing official. I would have said it on this channel so far. But there's a lot of rumors that they are trying to remove the Minecoin system because they realize that it's not really benefiting them. However, all the back channels I've heard that through, no one has it like officially confirmed yet. So until it is confirmed, it seems like it's just a silly system. However, what do I not like about Bedrock? I would say, if I could speak to the developers, I would say, please get someone on the team who plays the Xbox One. It seems as though, Minecraft Bedrock is a pretty solid game now, especially after they bug fix the aquatic update. It seems to be working really consistently solid, with a few exceptions, and the big exception always comes down to your Xbox One. The reason Xbox players in particular think it's a buggy mess is because if you play the game on Xbox, it's like playing an entirely different game. Microsoft's own game on Microsoft's own platform is literally the worst combination, and that's excluding the fact that you have to pay Xbox Live just on the Xbox One, by the way. So you have to drop a subscription just in case you didn't already, which makes it already the worst financially system to play Minecraft on. And even though they all use Xbox Live, this is Xbox Live in a different way. But then the worst bit is that Minecraft runs so much worse on an Xbox One. It's not optimized for the Xbox One X, so if you have a more powerful console, that that's just entirely wasted. It won't be wasted in 2019 or 2020, hopefully, but again, by that time, there'll be like a new gen announced most likely, so it's like, okay, you don't get to use extra render distance in Minecraft. In fact, the iPhone X, I showed this off in a long time video ago, as well as the Galaxy S9, pretty much any flagship phone from this generation has a better render distance than the Xbox One, so that's really annoying on the surface. Also, it doesn't work with any of the Xbox One features. If you leave the game to go to the dashboard and then come back, the whole game crashes. The entire game crashes. I'm not like exaggerating right here. I don't understand how a fix that simple has not been addressed by anyone. They're like, we're trying our hardest to bug fix the game, and it's like, does Minecraft just not support not being run in open window? When you play on the Windows 10, you can minimize the tab and then reopen it, and I just think it's insane that like this is the sort of thing that laid dormant in the game. That was a lot worse during the last year. They bug fixed most of the big issues, but it seems as though Minecraft is one of the worst optimized Xbox One games. I still do believe, and again, I'm not familiar with all the certification processes, but I don't believe this game would have been allowed on Xbox if it weren't a Microsoft game. If Nintendo was the publisher, or if like EA or whatever, you know, like game studio you want to pick, if they were the publisher, Microsoft would have probably looked at that and been like, what the heck is this mess? Like, you can't even get it to work on a console, you know? And I don't know, it's confusing to me how many of the core functions don't quite work when it comes to the Xbox One. And yeah, like the game is great when it's playing. The moment you try to leave the game, crashes. The moment you try to, you know, do too much, it doesn't seem to work. And it's not optimized. It's not, I just don't understand the Xbox One specifically. And as someone who plays mostly on the Xbox One, that's what really gets me. I understand it's just me and like a lot of you as well, but it's something where it just feels like, is this broken? Is this intentional? Do you want the game to crash and reload every time? Do you think not being able to go out of stability, like, because, you know, I'm sure it's like in the Xbox code of like what you need to be an official game, where you must be able to minimize the game, you know, to do other stuff in the store, but it seems like Minecraft is exempt from I don't know, it's confusing stuff. I don't understand it. It's bizarre, and if anyone from Microsoft could just fix it, or Minecraft, or I don't even know where the issue is. It's just like every other Xbox One game runs amazingly, even the really badly made ones, but Minecraft just has huge issues that I don't understand. So with that said, let's move to the next question, which comes in from Brandon R, who says, what big projects do you plan on completing this year? And I assume he means in Minecraft. Assuming you mean outside Minecraft, then I've got a few fun videos on 2Cat about First Class coming up because of the whole Japan thing that I'm looking forward to filming. I've got a GoPro made for those. But yeah, assuming you're talking about Minecraft and my Let's Play world, I really want to do that Nether thing that I said. I want to have a 10,000 block road in the Nether, just because I want to be able to see, you know, different distances that far away in my Bedrock world, so that sounds kind of fun. The second thing is that I would really like to have, obviously, the sugarcane farm. I've admitted that I'm probably never going to plant sugarcane across the whole thing, because there's no point in doing it, especially on Bedrock where there's no leaderboards, but I want to have all of the exits and the entrances covered in sugarcane, so it looks like it's entirely full. I know that's kind of like cheating it, but like, you know, let's be honest, no one's going up there anyway, so we can do that. And I'd also really like to have this, you know, boataway system, this blue ice, you know, boat thing, going all the way from my Coral Islands to my my reconstructed Woolen Mansion thing. I think that'd be kind of fun personally, and that's the thing we'll be doing. So with that said, let's move into the next question, which comes in from Dead Channel, who's always there on the streams, being positive and supportive. But he says, which is why I recognize him. So big thank you, Mr. Dead Channel, first of all. But he says, what do you think about the first Minecraft store sale? Do you think it's a positive sign for the future of the store, or do you think it's just a one-off? So one of the things about the Minecraft store is they're always trying to stimulate demand, because most Minecraft players never even look at the store. Most Minecraft players don't own anything from the store because they think, like, why would I pay for this? Honestly, this is something I feel like is a shame, because there are a lot of developers who are almost making a living off maps. I feel like there are a lot of benefits to the store, and I feel like if they can just sell them right, if they can just have the best quality content, that is really great. And I really like the idea of having a store sale because of the fact that it means you can get stuff for pretty absurdly cheap. You can spend, you know, £1.69, $1.69 in Minecoins, and you can get 2 or 3 pieces of content. There are some actually really good ones currently on sale for like 80 Minecoins or 160 Minecoins. And yeah, I think it's a really positive sign. I think it's a really good thing. I think, you know, getting more people to try out the store, maybe more people like it. Like I said, personally, I like the store. I like a fair amount of content on the store, and I have a whole series called Store Sunday because I want more people to check out the store, and I feel like certain developer maps especially, it's a really cool thing to see. So what do I think about the store sale? I think it's positive. However, again, this is the Minecoin issue. They divided prices by 2. It's 50% off. There's no way to do anything but half off, which means things that cost 330 Minecoins cost 165. Do you know how annoying 165 Minecoins is? Basically, yeah, again, really well intentioned, really bad in principle. It seems like there's a lot of that stuff, especially, like, you know, the tiers just don't make sense. If you could buy it with real money, that'd be amazing. Just being able to be like, you know, I'm going to drop like 60p on this map. Or if you could just have a credit in your Minecraft account, then that would be amazing. However, that's not a thing you can do, it seems like, at least. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Lethal Bo Peep, who says, I know you live stream on YouTube. Would you ever consider Twitch? So the reason I live stream on YouTube instead of Twitch is because of the fact that YouTube has much better technology, and because of the fact that Twitch, honestly, okay, so this is like an unpopular opinion, but Twitch has some real issues. So technologically speaking, Twitch is one of the worst live streaming platforms. They cap you, I think it's 2 megabytes a second. That's about 1/4 of the quality that I currently do on YouTube, unless you're partnered with them, at which point it goes up to half the quality I do on YouTube right now, even though I'm not partnered with YouTube anyway. So that's a weird thing by itself. So, you know, they've got really low quality. They've got a high delay that you can't turn down because, you know, it's just the minimum platform quality. And then also they have really selective rules for a community. So there's a bunch of things you can't do. You're not allowed to not play video games unless you specifically change the category of your stream. And that's even then, you used to not be able to play not video games at all. Except obviously it's only enforced for certain streams. Some streams it's okay, it's funny, but a lot of streams you can't switch away from gameplay, which is the oddest decision when you really think about it. And it's like, okay, you have to only be showing gameplay. You eat an onion for too long and you're going to get kicked off Toy Cat. And then there's obviously the issue of the fact that there's more rules that are only selectively enforced. There's the fact that they pick who to partner entirely arbitrarily. Like, I have seen a bunch of people be partnered. I applied for partnership when I was like 3 times above their minimum requirements, and they just said, sorry, you're going to have to stream a bunch more for free before we consider partnering you. They do really well as a company because they favor certain, you know, people who are like obviously big and who bring people into Twitch as a whole, and now they have a huge, you know, they have the biggest draw of any live streaming service, and because of that, that's the reason they do big. Just because of the fact that they get some people to really love Twitch, then everyone feels like, well, if everyone's on Twitch, I'll be there too. And I really don't like that as a business model personally. I like YouTube because anyone can stream, and as long as you're not breaking some egregious rule, you won't be banned. You can bring your subscribers from YouTube along with you, and I just feel like in general, yeah, I won't be streaming on Twitch because there's just so many weird things about it compared to YouTube. I will be dual streaming on Mixer a bit more if you care about that, but I mostly like YouTube gaming streams or YouTube streams just because of the fact that, you know, people can sponsor, and that's really an important part of what makes the streams go round. I know there's subscriptions on Twitch. Oh, but this is the worst thing. I just forgot this one until just now. One of the worst things about Twitch that they don't tell you, and no one ever tells you when they're partnered, is the fact that they take 50% off your subscription and all that other sort of stuff when you first sign up. And the big partners, they're losing, you know, like 5%, 1%, etc. And they'll encourage you to sign up. And it's like, you know, like a reverse progressive system or whatever. I just feel like, you know, you should have a flat rate that can support everyone. Like, you know, because the thing is they make the least money from their smaller streamers. And if you just had a singular rate, you could probably just charge everyone 10%, 20%. But no, they charge small people the most. And then they forbid you from talking about those contracts. You know, I've just broken someone else's NDA because, you know, Twitch as a company, so many shady business practices. It's just they have the biggest set of streamers, and that's why they're kind of big. I am really anti-Twitch, and I feel like the biggest reason is just the fact that it screws over the creators, and I care about my creator friends and the people who stream and the people who do stuff like that. If you intend to stream and you ever want to take it anywhere serious, unless you're going to go straight from kind of serious to, like, you know, thousands of viewers per stream, Twitch is just not a good platform for you, and I would entirely recommend that you keep that in mind. So with that said, let's move to the last question, which comes in from the Dover King, who says, how about don't post if you can't handle comments? You shouldn't be a YouTuber if you can't handle comments, so if you have to disable them, I personally don't think you should be posting YouTube videos. So I figured let's respond to this because, you know, a lot of people just shy away from, like, criticism, and I feel like this is a genuine piece of criticism. It's put across a bit poorly, but I feel like he has a genuine point. Like, why... I said at the end of last week's Q&A Saturday, I'm taking a small break from comments. I'm just not going to be reading them for a bit. And therefore he says, like, well, that's silly. Why post YouTube videos if you can't handle comments? But the thing is that, like, comments are not an expected part of the YouTube process. They are now. You know, 99% of videos you go on, you will expect comments. However, it seems like as you grow past a certain point on YouTube, I don't know when I hit the point, but people stop commenting to reach you, to say things to you. They just assume you're not reading the comments, and they post things about you. They post things at you, and there's very little value to be gained past a certain point. I have Q&A Saturday just because I specifically want to respond to comments. That's why I went through the Q&A Saturday videos just now and did this sort of stuff. However, on most videos, I feel like the comments aren't too... You know, if you look at comments, then you'd lose faith slowly too, because if you look at the first ones, there's going to be 20 comments saying first, then there's going to be comments saying second, third, 9th, 26th, etc. Ha 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 ha. Then there's going to be comments saying last time I was this early, something... You know, if you look through the comments, it's mostly just like a fun social game for commenters to play with other people. I feel like not all comments are intended to be at the YouTuber, and even the ones that are, because they're the ones that, like, make me go, what the heck is this? The comments that are directly directed at a YouTuber YouTuber. That's a weird sentence. But the ones are, you know, overwhelmingly trying to just express some strong emotion. I really love that, you know, like, oh, I really like this video, Toy Cat. That's great. And it's like, that's useful. I mean, it doesn't help me make better videos, but it makes me feel good. The people who are just like, I hate you, Toy Cat. I clicked this thumbnail because I was expecting this. I didn't read the title and I didn't read the description and I didn't watch the first 5 seconds of the video, but I'm angry with you anyway. It's like, what can I do about that? Or if people say something like, hey, Toy Cat, I really hate how you talk so fast. You ruined the video. And then they just throw some insults. It's like, oh, what I'm going to have to do is start speaking slower. And it's like, okay, well, even if that was an easy fix, which it isn't, like, obviously, I speak the speed I do because it's kind of natural. But even then, it's like, I can't retroactively go back and fix this video because the video is already up. You can't change existing videos. So, you know, constructive feedback has to be for the future, not the present. You can't be like, you should have done this video like this, because then it's like, well, I mean, that it's done now. And you see the same thing in comments. And basically, comments are mostly not there for me, it seems like, on YouTube. I wish comments were there for me, and on Q&A Saturday, they sometimes are. But it seems like most comments on YouTube are just not intended for the YouTuber. I don't know if they're intended for anyone besides the person commenting, but that's just a weird observation. I hope you all enjoy this week's Q&A Saturday. I think this is the longest we've gone in a long time. I do intend to, by the way, do another Q&A Saturday where I answer every single question. But the truth is, there's a lot of bad questions on Q&A Saturday recently. I don't want to insult your abilities here to leave good questions. I think, honestly, sometimes it's like, if you want to leave a good question, try and make sure it's one that's not answered before and something where you can get a unique take on it. Because a yes/no question doesn't really work too well. A question where it's just like, easy answer, then move on. You know, like, pro tip for conversations right there. That's the same thing I'd say. Always leave an answer that's like narrow for conversations, but like, you know, it's not too wide, but it has like a place for them to expand. Because if you just say like, hey, how many days a week do you work? And they're like, 4, sometimes 5, I guess. Whereas if you ask something like, hey, what are do you have any pets? What are their names? They're gonna be like, oh, I've got Mr. Fluffycalls, and you know, you get the point. So no, with that said, live tip for questions. I hope you all enjoyed this week's Q&A Saturday. Give it a like if you liked it, a share if you liked it. Leave a comment down below if you want to ask questions for next week. And thank you very much for watching this extra long Q&A Saturday, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.